All right, man. The Detroit Lions are taking on the Green Bay Packers on another short week. They play Thanksgiving, so they went Thanksgiving to another Thursday game, NFL, but they made it even Stevens. The Green Bay Packers is all also played Thursday night versus the Miami Dolphins. They beat the Dolphins, and since losing to the Lions, they feeling like they're a different football team. Since losing to the Lions, they won uh three straight. They beat the Chicago Bears by one. They blew out the Green Bay Packers with a backup quarterback, and they beat the Dolphins, who can't win in 40-degree weather. So they feel like they got more momentum coming into the Lions game originally at Lambeau. They beat the Rams, the Cardinals, the Texans, and the Jaguars. They won four straight and almost came back and beat the Minnesota Vikings, to be honest. They lost their first game of the season to the Philadelphia Eagles in the shootout in Brazil, which kind of was shaky in my opinion, because one of the reasons that game was truly shaky because the field in Brazil was trash. And then on top of that, they had to worry about fighting for their life in Brazil too, because they was telling them not to leave the hotel room, and it was dangerous over there in Brazil. And if you didn't know, Brazil is the second highest populated continent for melanated people. I didn't know that fun fact. So there's more melanated people on Brazil everywhere else besides the great continent of Africa. So a you know, little tidbit right there. I learned that a couple of months ago, so I like to share that with my people. So if you're on Jeopardy or something like that, or somebody got a question, hey, you would know it. So right now the Lions, the over and unders at 51 and a half points. So at least they both got to score 26 combined, 26 apiece at least to reach that. Um, um, so the spread is at 3.5. Uh, obviously 3.5. The Lions are the favorite, -3.5. The money line is plus 150, -175. So the Lions have uh a slight favorite, and I think it would be a bigger favorite if they were healthy. And as of right now, Taylor Decker did not practice on Monday. Didn't expect him to. I mean, I'm really thinking more Tuesday or Wednesday. You get a better indicator on him. Pascal, who supposed to miss some time, Enrique, and some of these other dudes out here. So it's definitely, kind of. I think people can understand the Lions losing this game. They already lost once at home. They've been road warriors this year, because they just so beat up right now. They so beat up. Jameer Gibbs leaked those protections out. Ben Johnson kind of downplayed it. Some of these guys downplayed him leaking them protections out and all that. So, yeah. But I think a lot of people could understand, why the Detroit Lions, could lose this game. And there ain't no excuses. It just is what it is. But like I said, you know, Dan Campbell can't make no excuses. If the coach is making excuses on why they lost, then them excuses trickle down to the team. And I think it was huge for him to take accountability for losing that Tampa Bay game. You know, and even more so, one thing that's probably not being spoke on enough is we really about to see what Jake Bates is made of. And honestly, he's gonna have hiccups. That's just the honest truth. Jake Bates is going to have his hiccups. He missed the kick last week. Could have been a deciding factor. So you got to remember that. Jake Moody is very shaky over there in the 49er land, but don't forget, Young Ho Koo, who's a great kicker in Atlanta, he was shaky in LA. Well, the Chargers back in the day, San Diego, I think they were. They got rid of him. He became a legend in Atlanta. Sometimes you got to be patient with these kickers. Sometimes they go through slumps. They like anybody else. Sometimes we go through things in life, and it affects us on the field. We're human. Some people don't understand that. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan had bad stretches. Peyton Manning had bad stretches. Tom Brady had bad stretches. So sometimes you got to be a little bit patient. Maybe get a sports psychologist. Maybe get them a therapist. Or maybe allow them to get a break. Don't worry about showing up to the facility for a couple days. Go get a break. Go get a break. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Maybe they need a little break. You know what I mean, son? But yeah, matchup indicator. They have a 39.3% chance of winning. Lions have a 60.4% chance of winning, and I think a lot of that is based on uh uh the Lions' health. And also this quick turnaround. You notice a lot of injuries happen off these quick turnarounds. So you gotta weigh your rest. And you gotta you know, you gotta weigh your rest. You gotta weigh your rest. So how much do you let the guys rest? How much, film work do you do? You already played the team once. Think about that. You already played this team once. So, y'all know what need to be due. So you let them get more rest and y'all just do more walkthroughs and mental reps because you already sharp for playing Thursday. Because and a lot of these guys to rest and come out there on Thursday and then do their thing. That's the great debate. So everybody handle it different. It's a big game for Green Bay. Obviously, they probably out the running for the number one seed and probably out the division. How well Minnesota's playing, and this definitely would put a death blow in them possibly winning the division in the number one seed for the simple fact that if the Lions would have swept them this season. But don't forget, last year they beat us at the crib. Don't forget, we had a big win in Green Bay last year, and then they building kind of the streak of beating us at the crib. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. So, at the end of the day, this ain't no gimme. They came here and they really, amped they really got their season started last year by beating us last year here. This is how they got their season started last year. This is how they primed their engine last year. Jordan Love throwing interceptions, and I watched that Miami game. Miami lost that game on the first drive. They forced them to kick a punt. They forced them into a punt, right? And after they forced that punt, Miami muffed it, gave them life, and they never really looked back. Jaden Reed killed it. He killed the game. So once they muffed that punt, Miami was in trouble. Miami was in trouble, and Green Bay played a good game. Josh Jacobs is a game changer for them. He had a really good first half against us last year. He's, marching in on 1,000 rushing yards. Jaden Reed, I mean, he's really, really good against zone coverage. They, say he's really good out of Michigan State. And then you look at the injury report, Egner and Cooper, linebacker, Isaiah McDuffie, linebacker, John Fitzpatrick, tight end, Josh Jacobs, running back, Kobe Wooden, defensive tackle, all questionable for us. Carlton Davis returned to practice. Taylor Decker, Pascal, Anzarike, Reader, all questionable. One thing about Reader, he said he's fine. It's just, precautionary at this point. So Pascal and Decker are the ones you're really looking at that probably may not play. So we'll see. If this was a full Thursday to Sunday, they probably would play. Be ready to play. So, yep. So, so yeah, that's the play right there. But as far as this game, for Green Bay, what they're gonna do is they're gonna establish on how to stop the Lions' run. How to stop the run. I think if you stop the run. You look at what Houston did. You look at what Chicago did. They're going to try to mimic what Houston and Chicago do. And one thing that's the hardest to do in the National Football League, in my opinion, is division games. Teams that see you year in and year out, they build their teams to beat you. They build the personnel to beat you. And don't forget, Green Bay shouldn't even have scored a touchdown last time they played us, thanks to Amick Robertson and his bonehead plays. And some of these bonehead plays and bonehead decisions off the field has almost cost the Detroit Lions several times over again. So hopefully they can stop making these boneheaded decisions between J-Mo flipping the ball at Stevenson, between Jameer leaking the protections and all that type of stuff. Hopefully that can cease and come to a minimum, and we can be a little bit more smarter about, how we gonna play it. Then some bulletin board material. The tight end Kraft, which I'm gonna talk about that. Basically said, put a hit out there on Kirby Joseph. So yeah, he basically put a hit out there on Kirby Joseph and said, he took some of his brothers out, and my thing is this: it's football. He ain't doing nothing dirty. That's my thing. This football and got so sensitive, and the Trevor Lawrence hit was dirty. We got to all establish that that was a dirty hit. That we can establish that was a dirty hit. Real talk, that was a dirty hit. But but um but other than that, some of these other hits, what you expect is football. So, honestly, man, it's no secrets. Green Bay, I would sell out, stop the run, just try to play good coverage on the back end. Try to take away the in breaking routes. If I'm Green Bay, I try to run the ball, screen plays, run the ball, play action, go down the field, do a lot of safe plays, and just try to get the crowd out of it, and not, and try to just take care of the ball. And if I'm the Lions, I establish the run, and I try to probably, make plays outside the hashes, whether it's jailbreak screens, out breaking routes, um, or bunch formations where they really don't know where we're going. So we'll see. And defensively, you want to stop Josh Jacobs and, probably take away Jaden Reed, and we'll see what else happens behind that. I know Romeo Dobbs didn't play last week. I guess he's playing this week. So always got to watch out for Dobbs and Watson as well, too. They're explosive down the field. But I like the Lions in this game. I'm going to say by a point. I'm going to say it's a very competitive game. I'm going to say 29-30 on the late go-ahead touchdown. So I think it's going to be a competitive game. I can see Green Bay easily winning this game. Lions beat up. They motivated. They're a talented football team. They don't have the elements to mess them up this time, which is crazy. But I think the Lions by a point. Just my opinion. Check out the Lions prediction playlist. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit the link tree. Find me X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.